Hello and welcome to the Food Lab, where we try it before you buy it to save your dime. Tonight, something very special. Basically, it's Meijer Basics. And yes, I am wearing a fez, because fezzes are cool. So, hey, yeah, every store has their store brand, their generic stuff that they just go ahead and sell that it doesn't have any advertising on it. It's usually kind of a little bit crappy, but not too bad. Meijer goes beyond just the crappy, regular, cheap stuff. Because even the store brand stuff isn't that bad. Meijer also has like higher end store brand stuff, their organics and some other things. But they've really gone to the bottom of the barrel with the Meijer Basic stuff. This is white boxes, minimal anything on it. Even the pictures are pretty awful. And today we're going to explore an entire meal, a day's worth of meals in Meijer Basics world. If you are cheap, yeah, I know, Rudy. I'm eating. I'm going to be eating. That's right. Yeah. It's an entire day of meals made with Meijer Basics food. And so to start off with, we're going to go with the Marshmallow Shapes cereal. Now, one of the great things about all this stuff is the pictures on the boxes. The ones that do actually even have pictures on it, just so you can tell what's in it. These are awful. They're not even trying with this. Literally, usually the magic advertising pictures and stuff that they have. Oh, they prim and prep it. They spray it with glossy stuff. Usually to substitute for milk, they use like white glue. That's all this looks like. This looks like they put the cereal into white glue. Exactly that. And so we're gonna explore this. And notice that this side of the box and this side of the box are exactly the same. And this side just doesn't have, it has all on it. So let's see what lies inside, shall we? So there's the cereal. Yes, I'm gonna fill out there. I don't put milk in cereal, but I mean really, like it looks better in person than it does on the box. That's the kind of effort. That's the kind of thing we have here. When the nasty ripoff of Lucky Charms actually looks better in person than the picture. That's something special. Let's try some of the little oat pieces. They're not bad. I mean, they have that same sugary coating. They taste pretty much exactly like Lucky Charms. Nothing to really complain about there. And with the marshmallows, the marshmallows are great because they're just like squares and diamonds. Oh, they have some vague shapes. They have little like half round things there, but they're just the same crappy dry marshmallow. This isn't bad. This is like $1 for this box. Cereal's expensive, and just like nice 7-ounce box for $1. I got no problem with that. That's great. I don't need some fancy pants thing with a crappy plastic toy in it. This is my kind of breakfast. For lunch, I mean, classic lunch here. Hot dogs. They're just hot dogs. There's no picture on there. There's nothing. They just have the little colored stripe on the basics, and they're there. They're hot dogs. So we're gonna have to pause and cook these, but let's look at what else makes up our fine, nutritious lunch. We have some wheat bread. In the wheat bread, it's just bread. Just bread. This looks like bread. And then wavy potato chips. That's an awful picture. It just doesn't, I mean, like, I can already tell that they're going to look better in person than they do in that picture. It's like they use the antithesis of Photoshop. They didn't even care. And then the best thing, the thing that I love the absolute most about this bag, it's completely blank on the back. They didn't even like bother to like the cereal, you have the picture on both sides. This is nothing. It's just nothing. It's devoid of all life. Which, I'm sure if you eat too many of these, you probably will be too. But we're going to go and cook up some hot dogs, and we're going to have them on the bread because they don't have hot dog buns in Meijer Basics. So, I mean, you got to do what you got to do. So we pulled the hot dogs out of the container. Here you go. Here's your hot dog there. They have kind of an interesting texture. They're not, I don't know, they just feel kind of weird and plasticky, but you know. We're back with our fine, delicious hot dog and toasty bread. There we go. I grilled them on the stove because, you know, most people would probably microwave them. I'm not a fan of microwave hot dogs. We have the technology. Yeah, that tastes like a cheap hot dog. Takes me back to the days of like barbecuing with groups of people and Boy Scouts and stuff like that. It's just bottom of, it's just a hot dog. You can't really go that wrong. I wouldn't buy them again. Here we have our lovely chips, which, as I predicted, certainly look better in real life than they do on the package. Fair enough. They're ruffled potato chips. Tastes like potato chips. I don't eat potato chips a lot. I'd buy these if I was having a party or something like that, and I was like, screw you people. I don't want to get something that tastes good or anything fancy. They're cheap. People eat them. There's nothing objectionable about them. Now for dinner. Lovely, delicious frozen pizza. Frozen pizza that is smaller than my head. It's just look at that picture. Just look at that. That is so fucking delicious looking, isn't it, people? That makes you want to just grab this right out of your freezer and eat away. Unfortunately, you have to do it in a conventional oven or a toaster oven. Come on, guys. For a tiny little pizza like this, I don't want to just throw it in the microwave. I imagine that's what most people will do with one of these. I am not. I, however, am going to cook it in my toaster oven because I don't hate myself. Because as bad as that looks like it was done in an oven because there's actually browning on the cheese. I can't imagine what horror this would produce if you microwaved it. So here's what the pizza looks like just right out of the package. There's no crust. They just like slathered everything on it. There's no like evenness in the cheese. They just bleh, bleh. Fun thing, as soon as I opened the oven, the toaster oven, and got a whiff of the pizza, it brought me back to school. It smells exactly like cafeteria pizza. And, well, that's pretty much exactly what it looks like. But again, amazingly enough, looks better than the picture on the box. Now it's on the table. But whatever. It should still be okay. It's the same. It's that same consistency. It's the same little square pepperonis. And guess what it tastes like? It tastes just like crappy high school cafeteria pizza. Or pizza that you get at like a crappy bowling alley. Or roller skate. The skating thing from school. The sauce and cheese aren't too bad. It's the crust that really destroys it. What day is complete without dessert? Cookies! Assorted cream cookies! Each one has an assortment of cream within it. Actually, the whole assortment here just seems to be chocolate cookies with white icing or white cookies with white icing. We'll try one of each. Actually, let's mix them. It's economizing on the whole thing. Yep. They're cheap cookies. There's not a whole lot of the filling. That's strike one. Outside of that, there's fundamentally no real problem in these. They're pretty much just like any other cheap cookies you get someplace. I think the real meaning behind some of these things is more, it's not because you don't want to spend a lot of money. It's more because you want to get something to give to other people. Or you take it to a potluck, you take it to a thing like that. Hell, you have plastic forks. I bought these plastic forks for having parties in my house with. These are cheap as hell. So I think that's really the better use for the Meijer Basics. It's when you know you're going to have people over. One last thing to do. I saved one of my pieces of pizza. You take a piece of bread. Put the pizza on the bread. The other halves of the cookies. Put those on the pizza. And then on top of that, you guessed it, chips. And then the piece de resistance. Bam! Cereal. I imagine the worst part of this is just going to be the untoasted bread. Delicious. Yeah, the bread is really the worst part. It's just kind of dry and nasty. Please remember, when trying new forms of food, especially the most basic of all, please remember the most important safety rule is to wear these safety glasses.